All right, and just like that, the internet is fixed, and we are back and ready to go for game number 1 in this best of 2 between Big Black Clocks on the left and Scuttle Slayerz on the right. It's going to be an exciting match. We are looking forward to seeing it. I will say that ESDL, although they do give you some broadcasting tools, they don't let you kind of scout the teams. There's so much research you have to do in order to even see the members of each team. And even at that point, all you can really do is op.gg a player, which doesn't really necessarily show you their stats or their statistics or anything like that. So it's kind of a meme. I'm going to get the sound up a little bit more on the champ select. I just realized I don't have any champion select music. I guess it's going to be really low anyways. There we go. All right, so we've got a first lock in of Vel'Koz. This could be a mage support in the bot lane. Very rare to see a Vel'Koz nowadays in the mid lane, but there are a couple of one-tricks who do like picking him up. Just a good way of bursting through certain things like tank comps and just getting through their front line to the back line. And we are going to have a bot lane selection in response with the long-range Caitlyn, getting a little bit of safety in the lane. And, yeah, so let's see. I think this is week 3 for these players. I believe that they have played either 3 or 4 matches each. I don't know how many matches actually go on per week or how many continue to go on, but for right now, we'll be able to see 2 of their games here tonight. Should be very exciting. So we've got the Mordekaiser locked in now for the Scuttle Slayerz. They're going to be looking to bring that into the top lane. Mordekaiser, consistently the strong sort of lane bully matchup in the top lane. He kind of gets a lot of lane control from a lot of opponents. Nobody can really do a lot to him. So they like to have that just to say, hey, look, our top laner is solid on the Mord. He's going to be able to hold the lane, and he's going to feel pretty good about that as we go into our second rounds of bans. The other thing that I don't know about this tournament is I don't know who gets side selection or who swaps anything. Like, I know when we get into the game, I'm actually going to have to swap the text of the teams because I have, if I remember correctly, I think I have Big Black Clocks on the right side of my layout, and so I'm going to have to swap it over to the left side. So it looks like we have top jungle selected, at least for both teams. Big Black Clocks looking to put some bans against the mid lane that they do not want to play against, whereas Scuttle Slayerz are looking more to objectively ban the annoying 80 carries that Caitlyn could possibly go up against. And now Big Black Clocks, they will get the first chance to respond here. No, I lied. It'll be the Scuttle Slayerz who get the first chance to respond here, and they will also have the final pick before we get into the first game. So we're going to see the rounding out of the team comps here as these final picks come across. It looks like it will end up being the Vel'Koz in the mid lane. It'll be Clam Feeder to take that one over as Thunder Underdog picks up the Leona. Vel'Koz going into the Talon. Not a great matchup, but one that could work, as it looks like Lulu could be the support to be locked in with the Caitlyn. That is just going to be a completely pushing lane. And they second guess themselves. They decide they want more magic damage than just the Mordekaiser, and they swap over to the Lux. So here we go. Both teams are looking pretty good in terms of their comps. We got both teams running sort of a mid-game bruiser, brawler comp, if you will. Both teams are going to be looking to take advantage of a mid-game team fight and push their snowball lead from there. Arguably safe lanes for all members, barring the Vel'Koz. But maybe Vel'Koz is the pick they were looking to flex with. All right. Here we go. And by here we go, I mean, here comes the spectator delay. Let's bring the music back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you got your drinks ready and your popcorn eaten and ready to go because we are about to get started here tonight. Again, we've got Big Black Clocks on the left. We've got Scuttle Slayerz on the right. We're getting the players loaded into the match, and we are about to take off on a wonderful adventure of this best of two. It's going to be really exciting here. All right, so like I said in the Champ Select, both of the teams, they've got sort of mid-game compositions. They're going to be looking to take advantages early-ish on and take those advantages into the mid-game and hopefully snowball a lead from there. Neither team wants to go super late, but of course, we do have the Ezreal versus Caitlyn. Both scale pretty well into the mid-game. Looks like we are going to have an invade of the bottom tri-bush. They are able to take out the ward and get some advantage, but meanwhile, Set has gone all the way and invaded a ward in the topside jungle against the Scuttle Slayerz. So he's going to have some information on the Vi camp travel. What is the word I'm looking for? Not camp travel. Jungle path. Jungle clear path. And contrary to popular belief, it is Set in the jungle. They flexed with both the Vel'Koz and the Trundle, kind of keeping Scuttle Slayer's minds a-wandering before they jumped into this match. The other thing that I thought was very interesting is with the Set jungle, he is sporting that new Korean rune. I say Korean rune because it has been a style that's been popularized pretty heavily in Korean League of Legends. It is 80 junglers taking Phase Rush in order to get that, little bursts of speed in order to catch their opponents and take them down whenever necessary. And Set's going to be looking to do just that, maybe get a burst of speed after that initial combo in order to chase down his gank and hopefully secure the kill for his team. And I guess, if it's possible, am I able to rearrange these? I would like to do that. As Set flashes forward for an early gank here in the top lane. Mordekaiser is going to do his best. He is very, has good discipline, doesn't burn the flashes. We see another engage really early in the bot lane. Already forced to blow the heal as Big Black Clocks was able to push early and grab that level 2. Already a summoner spell burned in the bot lane. They didn't get anything top lane. And Set had to blow flash for nothing. As it looks like Trundle's going to invade again. Gets a great pillar, but again, Mord does have this flash. Oh, and we get another engage from the bot lane as they go in on the Lux. It looks like maybe... Nope, the flash will secure Weenie Butt safety there. I think if she stuck around, she was most definitely dead to the Ezreal. And already we see the fierce aggression as Set Hex flashes over the wall. He's going to look at this Talon, but the Vel'Koz knockup does miss, and he's able to flash. We see a canceled auto, and there is first blood to Clam Feeder. Just Set putting the pressure early on his lane opponents, giving them, again, that early pressure that we were talking about. Set with the phase rush is able to chase these guys down, even after Hex flashing. Just so much is already happened. I'm going to go ahead and swap these around so that everybody is facing the way they are. And then I'll Alt-tab so we get rid of the cursor. So how are they going to react here? Talon is a little behind. Vel'Koz gets the first blood. Vel'Koz is going to be able to itemize early and hopefully build that Zhonya's to where Talon is going to be sort of useless, and, the Vi Caitlyn will also be, a little more useless against the Vel'Koz. But it looks like Vel'Koz is going to get an early blasting wand. He just wants that pushing power. Maybe he wants to just cancel Talon's roam altogether, just keep him from leaving the lane, shove him under turret over and over again, and keep him from helping out his team and possibly getting an edge back into this game after taking an early death. And we see the Mordekaiser Claw connecting. Trundle forced to flash in order to escape his certain demise. That's very good. We've got good jungle pressure from both teams already. Leona again engaging just to see any chance she can get. Caitlyn and Lux are okay on this though. Caitlyn and Lux, they're fine to scale. They're fine to get the CS. Lux even flirting with a little bit of disaster here as she pushes forward. But Ezreal, Leona just decide, you know what, we've had enough. We have a little bit of the CS lead. Ezreal wants to back. He wants to get that tiers and start stacking for the late game. Opts not to get the tiers, though. Goes ahead and purchases the Sheen for a little bit of lane power. He does not want to give up this early aggression. He just wants to continue it on against this Caitlyn. And besides getting first blooded, Talon is still holding even in the lane. He still has the opportunity to leave and place a ward, help him survive. You know, I had timers up too. I don't know how to show them. Oh, wait, here it is. Objective timers. Okay. Yeah, so the first dragon, I was looking for the objective timers because I was looking for the first dragon. Oh my gosh, and Talon just barely limps out of the lane. And he is escaping behind his second tier, hoping to survive. Set is looking for possible opportunity, but doesn't find it. The geometry isn't enough. Talon able to walk away from the lane. And even though Vel'Koz does not secure the kill, he does get a couple turret plates for himself. He is okay with this. Denying the farm to Talon as well, just pushing him further and further behind. And Talon opts to go for more wave clear with the Tiamat in order to keep up with Vel'Koz's wave clear. And it looks like a move towards this first dragon, this Mountain Drake, might be the move for the big black clocks. We'll see if they decide to take it. As they catch Vi, she is under-leveled and stunned up. But the Lux is here first. Vel'Koz rotates and they pick up another kill. Leona's tanking this with her W, is going to escape as Ezreal comes over the wall. Vel'Koz secures the double and the Light Blade connects. Will they pick up the triple? And they pass it over to Ezreal. Just a couple great catches after another. As Big Black Clocks look to push this early aggression, like I said, into mid-game. Vel'Koz now with a 300 gold bounty, 3 kills to his name. Looking great as they pick up this Mountain Drake. And I think Scuttle Slayerz, they just made an error there. They just thought, you know what, we've been behind. It's time to make a play, maybe contest for the Drake. But they just didn't respect Vel'Koz could still be around. And Vel'Koz already with a kill behind him had the power to secure, you know, a couple of those kills, especially against the level 4 bot lane. Level 4 bot lane going into the level 6 power mage. And Vel'Koz, you just think of the true damage. He's got so much burst. Very, very important for bot lane to respect that they've been behind and they have to take their chances when Big Black Clocks make mistakes. And we'll see if they're able to come back from an early deficit. Sometimes can be a little much for some teams, but I have a feeling that they are not out of this quite yet. They've got some power in the Mordekaiser. He has accumulated a little bit of a lane lead. And I think they might be putting all their eggs in his basket right now. Excuse me. Now we see Leona hovering around the mid lane. Looks like Leona and Talon are getting into a little bit of a tussle. Midnight Princess having to drop, but man, it just looks like everybody is on top of Talon, making sure that she is not able to go anywhere. Midnight Princess having internet problems before the game starts and now having just people in her lane, not letting her just do what she wants to do. And we see that Vel'Koz, he is feeling very strong on this lane. He's opted not even to build any part of the Seeker's Arm Guard. He just went straight into the Lost Chapter. He's going to be looking to finish the Ludens. And once he gets that Ludens damage, I mean, Vel'Koz will be ready to essentially take over the game from where it stands. The damage is just going to be too strong, and, you know, nobody on Scuttle Slayerz has the gold to itemize into MR just yet. They've got to be building their core items on their champions first. I still don't think it's necessarily over. Vi decides to engage here after losing the Rift Herald. Kind of was a lost cause. Talon looked like they were on different wavelengths there. Opting to maybe try to interrupt the Rift Slayer, but was not able to. Has sent Hex Flashes into the mid lane. He's got... Oh man, and Talon having to flash now. After getting tagged by the Geometry. As Big Black Clocks summons the Rift Herald mid, they're going to get all these plates and potentially the first turret. And they have climbed into a 4,000 gold lead. Now, what can Scuttle Slayerz do? As I start another conversation, looks like Vel'Koz picks up his 6th kill. Lands the beautiful Solar Eclipse. The Arcane Shift does miss just a little bit, though. But it looks like Ezreal might have the damage. Caitlyn burns the heal. Damn, I'm sick good enough. Misses. Ooh, and just a little bit greedy there, trying to secure the kill and push the advantage further. Gets caught by the Lucent Binding under the turret, and Ezreal will give a kill back over to Weenie Butt. So, back to the point I was trying to make earlier, what can Scuttle Slayerz do in order to come back from this game? They are going to have to look to secure a lot of pressure around this Vel'Koz and get the shutdown gold onto somebody big, possibly the Mordekaiser. And speaking of the Mordekaiser, he is looking to go toe-to-toe with Nakburz up here. He might secure the kill. Nakburz forced to flash away from that final Mace Stomp. And he might have to back and burn TP here, as it looks like people are getting ready for the Infernal Drake. This is something that the Big Black Clocks certainly want to continue to push their lead. They want the extra damage and ability power, and to be honest, I don't think that the Scuttle Slayerz is going to be able to contest this. Talon is just too far behind. He doesn't even have the boots. He's not able to get the movement speed onto the targets he's looking for, especially against, you know, the Ezreal, who can simply just Arcane Shift away. And it looks like Vi might have stepped out of position as the team collapses on her, and another kill goes over to the Big Black Clocks. Set taking a little bit of damage here. Looks like Caitlyn, if she just had the movement speed. Ace in the hole is going to get blocked by Leona's sexy pool party body. And it looks like here comes Mordekaiser with the TP. Gets canceled by the Trundle Pillar. Unfortunately, they were looking to turn that one around as they retreat under their turret. It looks like Scuttle Slayerz might not have a place to go, but it looks like Big Black Clocks are going to call it off. And Big Black Clocks, they are executing. They are using their aggression as they're supposed to. I'm really enjoying this Vel'Koz out-rotate the Talon. It's something you don't see every day. And what can we say? Perhaps the phase rush is a little too strong. We see Set putting the work in for his team. 7 assists to his name. Almost 100% kill participation. Getting that movement speed and just catching out the Scuttle Slayerz in places where they don't want to be. The gold lead has barely changed, though. They're still sitting at about 4,000. And the Scuttle Slayers, I feel like if they get a big kill on the Mordekaiser, it might be possible for them to make something work. Set trying to get away from the Mordekaiser within the realm, does so. Oh, and this Vi is just caught out and dead. And this Talon, she's trying to ult, she's trying to get that safety. Vel'Koz will pass that kill over to Smash B Bashin. As the gold lead mounts to 5,000 now. 15 minutes in, Thunder underdog catching the Caitlyn, trying to come back to lane for that juicy farm. And ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing a one-sided wrestling match here. It reminds me of the Simpsons Stop, he's already dead. But they're just refusing to let their opponents come into lane. Refusing to let them get any gold, and the damage is just so strong. See, and Vel'Koz at this point is just free to sit where he likes, rather. Vel'Koz being a male champion. With the double buffs, just asserting dominance, taking territory for himself. Vi forced it back here, just putting down the damage with the true singularity shot. Trundle now getting that level 11 subjugate, might be ready to take on the Mordekaiser, but might have stepped too far forward. As here goes Set with the movement speed, goes into the back line, might have bit off more than he can chew, but the damage just isn't there. The binding will connect, ace in the hole, finally grabbing something over for the Scuttle Slayers. They take a 1-for-1, but Vel'Koz 8-0. Clam Feeder has been having the time of his life. As another Solar Eclipse lands, the damage is just so strong as the Arcane Pulse picks up both of the bot lanes. And the gold lane is mounted to 8,000. The mid game, we're not even in mid game. This is 17 minutes. And at this point, how do you fare as the Mordekaiser, who's been 0-0-0? You've been watching your team take away things. Mordekaiser even getting out-dueled by the Trundle. Finally, Trundle with the Subjugate and the Trinity Force has enough damage to take him out. And yeah, just a couple kills that Scuttle Slayers have gotten have just been from out-of-position mistakes. As Midnight Princess goes down again to the true damage from Vel'Koz. She is just so strong. What's the way to see gold? Isn't there a hotkey to see gold? Toggle. Scoreboard items. No, I don't know how to see gold. X? Oh, yes, there we go. Okay, yeah, so I was going to see how much Clam Feeder had to his name. Has about 2,100. Could opt to just go back now, finish the Morellonomicon, and just put the final straw on the camel's back in order to break it and get it done. Yeah, I do have chat open. Trundle with a little bit of a bush juke, and this Talon is desperate. Level 9 chasing level 13. They're just trying to find anything they can. But I don't think that this person is going to have the damage. The Rake will connect, but it's just not enough to slow, and they're going to have to back away from this chase. And this game has all but been finished. Cloud Soul will be going over in about 4 minutes to the big black clocks as they look to continue to push their lead. And at this point in time, you just have to look at what were the picks? What were the picks that we weren't supposed to play against? Was Talon the problem? Was Mordekaiser the solution? What did the picks they prioritize? Did they mean anything? Did they get flexed on? And what are the changes they'll look to make for game number 2? Because that's what the Big Black Clocks did. They really did flex a couple of these picks. Vel'Koz, Set, Trundle. Champions that can really go into any lane. And the Scuttle Slayers just weren't prepared for where they might have gone. Early invade pressure against the Talon. And holy, the Wombo combo comes down. The Solar Eclipse. The Ignite, the Flash Forward. Mordekaiser looking to go toe-to-toe with Clawswitz in the other realm. Will they have enough damage? He comes out and he meets Sunlight to the face. Blinded by the light. And the first inhibitor will drop at about 2040. And could this be the final push? Will they rotate top and just finish it here? They could possibly back for some more items. Or they could shove it away. Looks like they will opt to back just for one final push. Scuttle Slayers will have one final chance to possibly find a flank, find something that could possibly turn around a team fight. Maybe contest this Drake in 2 minutes if they choose to. But otherwise, like we said, the game is all but over. Clearing vision in the Baron. They're just going to go ahead and secure the Scuttle and possibly walk away. They're not ready to quite do the Baron yet with everybody up. They're not feeling that confident, even with a 13,000 gold lead. And Weenie Butt steps a little bit too forward by herself, looking to grab some much needed vision against the Baron, but gets caught out instead. As the team collapses in the top lane, looking to finally get this final push. And man, the Vel'Koz damage just lands everywhere. Clam Feeder has feeling good. Hasn't gotten a single death. Almost nobody has died on the side of Big Black Clocks. 12-0, 7-1. The KDAs are off the charts as they push down these final Nexus turrets and send us into game number 2. Great job taking the early game aggression and making it work. Phase Rush doing the things it's supposed to do. And we'll see if Scuttle Slayers are able to bring it back around in game number 2. Okay, now I think I have to grab the Discord thing. I have to grab the code. Ah, login issues, right? What do you mean it's invalid? Do I just use the same code again? Oh, this works. Damn. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do here. What a mess. Oh, there we go. Nice. That did work. Hell yeah. Called it. Riot! Riot, what have you done? I can't believe that's actually what happened. Alright. Okay, here we go. We're in Champs Life for game number 2. I'm going to go ahead and swap these now that they've swapped sides. Isn't that a treat? Having to swap these back and forth. I'm going to find a better way to do this next time. Okay. Alright. So, the changes we're looking to make here. Looks like Scuttle Slayerz definitely does not want to go up against that Vel'Koz again. They definitely thought it was too strong, and I applaud that. They're saying, no thank you, we don't want to see it again. And will another ban go towards something they just played against? It looks kind of like all lanes got throttled with respect to the top lane. Looks like Mordekaiser was doing okay until Trundle hit that power spike. But no, it just looks like they want to get rid of some of the champions that have taken over a lot of public games. Volibear, Senna. Whew. And after that first loss, especially something like, I don't want to use the word stomp, but against something that was that one-sided, it is really hard to just kind of take a deep breath, very little break time between these two games, and recuperate for game number 2. But we'll look to see if the changes they make now are the changes that will help them bring this match to a 1-1. As we already see different champions coming out on each side. Thunder Under swapping off the Leona. Instead of going to them, he's going to be bringing them to him with the Blitzcrank. And Smash B Bashin says, you know what? The Phase Rush set served me well enough the first game. Let's try it again and run it back. And so what can Scuttle Slayerz do? They can look to play something that can match the aggression, match the skirmish level that we saw in Game 1 from the Big Black Clocks, or they can play something even safer. Find mid laners that can escape, that can safely farm. Maybe find laners that, don't have to be up in people's faces. Maybe that's the key. Maybe they need to wait, be patient, find the mistake that Big Black Clocks could possibly make, and then, get a pick from there, and get an advantage from there, and then push their lead. So we possibly see both bot lanes. Morgana could be flexed into the mid lane. As we get into the second round of bans. But with the LeBlanc ban, that sort of tells me that they are looking to stick that Morgana in the bot lane with Weenie Butt. And Midnight Princess will be on something else. Maybe she feels comfortable, again, like I said, on a safer champion. Something that can farm from a distance. Something that can escape early pressure and not be so threatened. Well, we're going to see what Clausewitz decides to grab for his team here in a second. Giving Scuttle Slayerz the opportunity to counterpick and solidify their team comp. Another solid top lane pick. Somebody who can just kind of survive in the lane and is just looking to team fight. What can Scuttle Slayerz do? I have faith that they're able to bring this back, that they're able to turn this around, that they're able to take the deep breath and say, you know what, we made some mistakes. We're not going to make those same mistakes again, and we're going to look to do something a little different. Vigard being hovered does get locked in by Midnight Princess. And what will get matched to counterpick the mid lane? And they decide to go in with the Gallia. So again, Big Black CLOCKS just rounding out another sort of mid-game fight now. Wombo combo bruiser brawler comp. And we're going to have to see if Scuttle Slayerz are able to make the appropriate picks at the appropriate points of the game. I have faith. It's going to be an exciting game 2. We saw a lot of exciting game 1 moments. We'll wait out the spectator delay and then we'll jump right in. All right. So here we go. We will load right into game number 2. We've analyzed the champs. We've seen the gameplay. Will things turn it around for the Scuttle Slayerz, or will the big black clocks flex on them for the second game in a row? We will see here and now as we get loaded into Summoner's Rift. Oh, yeah. I got baited as well. All right. So here we go. It will still be the Vygar mid. It will be Midnight Princess. And it looks like both teams are just going to miss each other as they invade each other's jungles. Caitlyn staying behind just to keep vision in her own jungle, as it looks like the Scuttle Slayers are making a move. They're going to push around, and oh my gosh, the big black clocks are going to walk backwards and possibly walk right into this. Will they commit to staying here? It's going to depend on where the set starts. They're wondering if the Nunu is starting red. They're fanning out now, looking to find him. Galio. Oh no, and they're choosing to back. Oh, okay, it's just the bot lane choosing to back, so it looks like both teams will have a chance to do some sort of vertical jungling. So it's going to be weird. Nunu is going to have access to both red buffs, and Set is going to have access to both blue buffs, if this goes down as planned. Galio now seeing Midnight Princess come in from the top brush. Doesn't ping anything, but Urgot is going to meet up with Malachi here in the river. We'll see if anything goes down as they just meet each other, and it doesn't look like anything is going to get engaged. Blue is pinging, saying, hey, they did take her blue buff. Both junglers are now aware, probably, of what has happened. Oh, and the hook goes wide from Thunder Under, looking to get that engage early, and takes a lot of damage as punishment for it. Clam Feeder engaging as soon as they get number 2. Midnight Princess taking the smart choice, getting that Event Horizon. Oh, and Nunu, will he be able to walk away? He's got the red buff on. He's looking for his team, but Malachi comes first. Tries to flash the root. Just not able to put anything out as Weenie Butt gets hooked. Puts on the spell shield in order to walk away. Jin putting the damage down into Caitlyn now. Ignite burn from the side of Thunder Under. And first blood again goes over to Big Black Clocks. And the aggression, what can we say? It's still there. The aggression is just so potent within the Big Black Clocks. Maybe it's their name. Maybe it's just the way they play. But they have got some dominant energy, and they are not looking to say no. But Nakburst, he goes into the minion wave. Looks like he bit off a little more than he could chew. Took a little bit more damage than he intended to in that trade. And is going to have to walk away from the Urgot. Another great hook from Thunder Underdog, but Weenie Butt able to put on that spell shield, walk away. And Dade Destroyer walking in, trying to out-skirmish a Galio set with Nunu Vygar. That's just a match that's never going to win. Vygar takes a while to scale. Really not very good in team fights until he gets the ultimate. And the Big Black Clocks already find themselves with a 1,000 gold lead. You know, why does this stuff not stay on by default? Why do I have to keep turning it on? Thunder Underdog landing yet another max range hook on the weenie butt. This time, she is forced to flash to get away. Okay, now this can go away. And this can go away. Thunder Underdog trying to make a play on the recalling weenie butt. Does lose the flash for it. It would have been hot. It would have been a hot play call. And here comes Dave Destroyer with the snowball. Malachi makes the smart play, flashes it, decides, you know what, this is definitely more than I can chew. As the jungler and bot lane will take over the Cloud Drake. So a little more movement speed now on the side of the Big Black Clocks. Just what's set once in order to solidify chasing down those opponents. Already with the 100% kill participation. Again, making moves for the team. Now, Scuttle Slayers, they did make the correct picks, I think, this game number 2. They did select picks with a little bit more safety, a little bit more, you know, ability to get away, possibly. But they're not playing it the way they should be playing it. They should be playing safe. They should be allowing their early game to maybe not go as well as they need to. Nunu, you have no business trying to take away Scuttles when Set is already there. You have no business trying to out-skirmish Set and Galio when they are on top of your chickens. Those are things that you are willing to give up. You are willing to say, you know what? I have a Vygar. The Vygar will infinitely scale. I am okay with losing out on that 50 gold and maybe that, you know, little bit of XP. And they're just going to need to make some smarter plays, as it looks like they might be able to get a pick here on the Blitzcrank, but Nunu keeps going. Maybe the shot call was a little off there. It looked like bot lane wanted to disengage, and Nunu kept going in. Vygar with very little mana here. They're not going to be able to pick up anything to trade. And once again, it just looks like maybe the Scuttle Slayers are not on the same page with everything. Could possibly be a skill mismatch. Although the skill matches in the Esports Development League are all number-based. So the skill mismatch, if anything, is only by a little bit. It can't be anything significant. Like, you'll never see, you know, we're never going to see a team of silvers against a team of golds. We're only going to be able to see a mixed gold team against another mixed gold team. Smash B Bastion, jump in a little bit. Might get caught out by this Nunu with very little health. And the consume is just enough. Smash B Bastion finally pays it over, gives the bounty gold over to the Nunu. We'll see if Nunu's able to take anything out of this. And Cerno, if he's got the mana, might be able to close in on this Malachi. He just needs a couple more autos, and there it is. We're finally seeing some momentum switch in the direction of Scuttle Slayers. As Nunu now invades and takes away the blue buff. We're finally seeing the momentum switch. We're finally seeing the attitude change. And although Set did make a big mistake walking forward, that was a great just 1v1 solo kill in the top lane from Cerno. Able to take down Nakbers. And unfortunately, that is what Cerno's going to have to do. You definitely don't want this Malachi just free farming and staying in the lane forever and becoming this uber tank that really nobody besides the Urgot is going to be able to shred that Malachi. We see Clam Feeder go in on Midnight Princess once again. She puts down the cage. They decide to turn it around. Clam Feeder flashes forward. Absolute Zero gets dropped. Not sure about that one. But it looks like the bot lane is now rotating in order to maybe make something happen. Vygar backing again in a precarious spot with Blitzcrank on the map. Okay, decides to opt away and will take a safer recall. We don't want to see any lazy backs. And Cerno losing the trade this time, fighting in the minion wave, but is doing alright against Bramble Vest Maokai. Clam Feeder almost up double the CS against the Vygar. But again, this is something that we thought we would see. We thought we would see a safer lane, like the Vygar pick. Having the cage to just kind of walk away from. Jin stepping forward just to get down some more shots. Thunder Underdog is just taking the opportunity every chance he gets to possibly make a play. And more plates go over to the side of Big Black Clocks. Maokai throws down the ult. Here comes Nunu. And Maokai opts to flash. Nakbur's not having any of that. But Cerno's got to be careful. He is weak enough to where a Maokai could possibly dive and just walk away due to the safety of the grasp and getting the health back off of the spell casts. I want to praise Scuttle Slayerz because we are seeing some good decisions. Like the decision to possibly take Rift Herald is a good decision, but you're not going to be able to take Rift Herald with only Vygar Nunu. You're going to have to bring a carry over there in order to out-skirmish these brawlers. Galio Set is just going to walk on top of you, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do. Galio taunts the both of you, and Set Batista bombs you into next week. So I'm glad that we're seeing some aggression. We're seeing some pressure. As Nunu, possibly we might be seeing some tilt here from Day Destroyer. Just keeps going with the snowball. Has to respect the blitz hook and the turret damage. And the gold lead is approaching 4,000 now as we get into the 12th minute of the game. It's hard to say what is going on in these players' minds. We're just seeing the decisions they're making. It could just be, you know, their current mentality. It could just be their game skill. It could be thinking they're okay. Urgot again engaging into the minion wave, just checking to see power level, just checking to see what could possibly happen. We have to remember that at the end of the day, Scuttle Slayerz is playing a pick comp. They're able to grab some people and possibly pick off some kills. But other than that, they are not going to be this team fighting, meet you in the middle of the field 5v5 kind of team. That just is not going to happen with this team comp. So they are looking to just get those items, get vision on the map, and possibly catch out those champions whenever they get the opportunity.
Want another shot? I wouldn't want to leave this.
Vygar just in the wrong place at the wrong time. gets pulled. It's now a 5v5 in the bot lane as both TPs. Actually, neither the Maokai is not TP'd yet. He's looking for an opportunity. He's going to TP in the bush. Set Batista bombs Urgot into the back line, and the Absolute Zero gets channeled. It looks like here comes Maokai with the roots, and it looks like it's all Big Black Clocks right now. Nothing getting picked up for the side of Scuttle Slayerz as Ace in the hole comes across. Galio as he continues to dive. The turret stack is going to be a little too much for the Galio to survive, but they're able to pick up the 1v4 as Blitzcrank is going to look to solidify and possibly ace the team here. Grabs the Rocket Fist, misses the hook, puts the W down, and it looks like Jin is going to be able to limp away. Doesn't quite get the ace. The gold lead mounts to 6,000, and it is going to be hard to say what the Scuttle Slayerz are able to do at this point in time. We're just kind of seeing the same decisions being made over and over again. Another Rocket Fist lands. Another binding misses. And it looks like Thunder Underdog just gets that aggression. Another Galio Tongue comes across, and the damage is huge from the Proto Belt. Freaking Fiendex Codex Galio Clam Feeder having the ball as Maokai comes back in with set. And oh my gosh, it's all she wrote as the Vigar is slowed and he is taken down. The Nunu is about to die as one flash saves him. And they are just using this aggression. They're saying, you know what, we'll take this Mountain Drake, we'll grab our gold, we'll spend it, and we will be okay, and we can push continually into the mid game. And we are just seeing these huge gold deficits at 15 minutes, 17 minutes in these games, and it just looks like Big Black Clocks, they turned on their PCs this morning. They said, you know what, we're going to pick up some wins. We're going to stomp our teams into utter devastation, and we're not going to even let them breathe. And we're seeing the gold totals even across these members. And we have mid lane Vigar with significantly less gold than even her own jungler, which is a huge problem. At this point in the game, Scuttle Slayerz, they have to have some faith in their mid lane and their Jin and their Urgot. Nunu, you need to just be sharing the lane just for XP, but you need to be giving these camps and this gold over to your carries, possibly to scale into the late game, possibly to find those picks that we've been talking about. But to be honest, as long as the Big Black Clocks decide to stay as 5, decide to keep meeting them in the field 5v5, there is nothing that the Scuttle Slayerz are going to be able to do short of a game-breaking mistake. And unfortunately for Urgot, Maokai is now to the point where he just will never die. Maokai is able to stay in the lane, is able to just sort of say, hey, I've got Thornmail Tabbies, I'm going to get Righteous Glory next, maybe even Abyssal Mask. You're never going to be able to kill me. The spell casts plus Grasp of the Undying, it's just going to be too much. Vigar, see you later, Midnight Princess. Go back to your tower. Caught out for another kill over to the Galio. And it's just like we said before, there just isn't enough respect being paid to the possible engage in the brawl that is able to be had from the Big Black Clocks. They are roaming around the map. They are running, just running into them, flashing forward onto their bodies and pressing buttons. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and try to engage again. Nunu gets hooked, he gets taunted, he gets ignited, and 6 death Nunu is just all she wrote. Jin with not enough damage to make anything happen. He hasn't even finished an item yet. Everybody on the Scuttle Slayerz now with bounties as we approach the 20-minute mark. We're getting close. Both Rift Heralds have gone over. All 3 dragons have gone over. Midnight Princess, your turret is gone, baby girl. There is no escape from you as Thunder Underdog grabs a double kill as he pushes forward with the static field. And everybody is here again as 5. Ready to push, ready to just engage. They hook the Morgana with no spell shield to be had. Weenie Butt goes down. And this is just all she wrote once again. We have an 11,000 gold lead as we broach 20 minutes. Breach 20 minutes. I love misusing words that are really close, but not, like close in spelling, but not close at all in definition. Like using broach for breach. As we breach the 20-minute mark, we have the 11,000 gold lead. I'm not sure if there's anything else that the Scuttle Slayers are able to do at this point in time. We have Super Soaker, Glacial Augment Vygar with a CS deficit, 4 deaths, no kills to her name. Nunu should have picked the Papercraft skin because that's about all that he can stand up to. Just very solid gameplay, very solid picks from the side of Big Black Clocks, and they're playing their comp the way that it should be played. Another max range hook, landed on the Weenie Butt, looks to try to flash over the wall, decides it's not even worth it. As Malachi comes in from the back, and now it's Malachi versus the team. He goes into the absolute zero, but cancels it immediately with the stomp. They hook over the Nunu now, and now Nunu's in the Dragon Pit, as Set will chase down the Jhin. And now Mountain Soul goes over to the side of the Big Black Clocks at 21 minutes in. So on top of the fact that they can just fight you 5v5, they're now incredibly tanky, can walk at you and press buttons and still fight you 5v5. And now if you thought Malachi was hard to kill without the Mountain Soul, now he's got the Mountain Soul to his name, and he is definitely never dying ever again in this game. And it's probably could be said the same about every other member as they look to take the Baron. And I've seen plenty of games like this. I've played plenty of games like this. The important thing for Scuttle Slayers to take away from this game is that these things happen, and it's important to reflect and think about the gameplay changes and, you know, possibly other things that can be made. The vision score is incredible, but it's just respecting the comp and respecting the gameplay that you're choosing to play. Like I said before, I think you know, the Scuttle Slayers, they made a big mistake pushing forward and trying to out-skirmish level, you know, 3 and 4 against Galio Set. Vygar able to pick up a shutdown there on the Set, but it's unfortunately not going to be enough. It looks like the inhibitor is going to go down. They're going to rotate. They're going to land another hook. The Ignite goes down. Malachi, he just jumps on him. Malachi will never die. Malachi's consistently tanking it up. The 3 tank items is just not going to be enough, and it looks like this is just going to be enough. Every hook has landed. The snowballs have also landed, but shortly after that, the game has just ended. And I think the Scuttle Slayers, I'm not going to say they necessarily played poorly. I just think maybe some poor decisions were made. I just think maybe the out-skirmish was not a good selection. I think you give the advantage early to the Set, who already dominated you in Game 1, dominated you in Game 2, and Big Black Clocks will look to take their 2-0 tonight in the Esports Development League as Clam Feeder grabs a triple. He's looking for the potential penta before they end the game here. But it looks like Caitlyn will grab a couple kills to herself. They grab the ace. They drink the Bud Lights. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. Big Black Clocks moving ahead in the week with the 2-0. Congratulations. Very good stuff.